Hello and welcome to our catch-up episode for the month of November of 2023. We are the Nomads of Fantasy, and with me, I have Brandon.
Player 2 has joined the conversation.
And Dave.
Player 3 inserted a quarter here as well.
And I am Player 1. I am your host for this evening, and my name is Eric. And we're here to talk about some games and maybe some TV shows and movies too. So, yeah, we're just saying what we've been up to for the past month. We just want to catch up with you guys, see what we've been watching and playing and stuff. So
there's so much.
There's so much in the year of 2023. Our Lord has blessed us with many video games.
He has bestowed onto us a gracious bounty of
seriously
digital entertainment.
No joke at all.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to? Well, before we get into it, I'll post up some some promos at the beginning here. Okay. If you want to share with us what you've been watching or playing, you can do so by joining our Discord. The nomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. We're always chatting games, all that good stuff, movies, whatever. And also you can get at us on our socials at Nomads of Fantasy on X, Instagram at the Nomads of Fantasy on TikTok. And
The Nomads.
I'll actually start, since it's not typical that the host starts on the catch-ups. But I'll start because I don't even know if I've mentioned it really on the show. Maybe like towards the end of some of the podcasts or whatever. But I think it's been since our last catch up that I have started playing Ocarina of Time on stream.
Right.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I have been playing because I made a promise that I would finish it before the end of 2023 to our one of our dear friends driving D-Van. So I am doing that, and just a progress update. As of now, we have like 25 days left in December. So that is how long I have to finish. I'm currently at the Water Temple. I just finished last night.
A little over halfway?
That's a little over halfway. That's, I would say, like 60%, 65 maybe.
Okay, yeah.
How many hours does it take to generally beat this?
According to how long to beat, it's like 25 hours or so.
Okay.
So it's it's not a short game. Yeah.
64 days, yeah.
So I've been doing, I just recorded part 6 last night, and I've been doing 3-hour chunks every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/Nomads of Fantasy. But yeah, I've been doing good 3-hour chunks each week, so I've put about 18 hours in, so I'm getting there. I'm getting towards the end. I have, after the Water Temple, I have 3 temples left, and then I gotta beat Ganon, and then I'm good to go. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to squeeze in another extra bonus stream in addition to my Tuesdays. I'm thinking on like Christmas break or something, squeeze another one in there, because I don't know if I just do keep the once a week if I'm gonna get there. So I need to make sure I do it for the end of the year.
So I mean, you're playing this game after Breath of the Wild and the same year Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and you're playing an old school Zelda game, something that really obviously inspired what they are making today. What is it? What do you think of the game now, playing with the modern eyes? Like, if somebody's watching you stream this and you're playing it, like I'm assuming you got to make commentary based on just the age and like maybe what they pulled off back then, maybe the obvious limitations of the software at the time or hardware. But yeah, like, what are you thinking so far? How do you feel about the game?
So I'm playing it on just the Switch Online N64 version, which is basically pretty close to the original version. The only thing is it's weird, a little bit weird with the control scheme playing on the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I feel like this game was crafted around the N64 controller.
That's true.
So playing with the Switch controller, the right analog stick is your C stick buttons. And it was really hard to get used to at the beginning, because I mean, nowadays every 3D game that you see is dual analog stick. You move with the left stick, you control the camera with the right stick. So my brain is wired that way. So at times I was trying to move the camera with the right stick, and then I would end up placing a bomb or fucking pulling out my ocarina or something because all my items are, on the C buttons.
You set the camera with the trigger.
So
right for those,
or it was like, I think it's LZ, or which I think is technically the Z button since it's the C targeting. That centers your camera essentially, so it shifts your camera to where your character is facing. So that's basically how you turn the camera. You turn your character, you hit Z, and it turns the camera. So
man, what year did this fucking game come out? What year was that? 95?
That was 1998. It actually was just
98?
Just the 25-year anniversary of this game, like a couple weeks ago.
That's like after Final Fantasy VII, I think.
I mean, it's
or the same year. Man,
yeah, dude.
That's just wild.
Oh.
Wow, I didn't know it. I thought it was older just by looking at it. I mean,
dude, it's still. I think it's still. Once you get used to the controls and rewire your brain to get out of that modern mindset with the dual analog sticks,
still fun. Yeah,
it still is really fun. The jumping is always treacherous because there's no jump button. It's the automatic jump where you run off the ledge and then it jumps. So you have to. It's weird getting used to that as well. But it's. I think it. Once you get used to the controls, it still feels good and it's still really fun, and it's one of the I still think it's definitely up there, one of the best games of all time. It's really good. So I've been enjoying my time a lot with that. I'm looking forward to finally finishing it for the first time. So yeah, before the end of the year, that is my mission. But enough about.
I have a similar goal in Zelda, but I've been crushing Tears of the Kingdom like whoa.
Let's hear about it.
And well, I finally finished the depths. As when I say finish, as in like I found all the locations down there of the routes, so I can light up and see everything.
It's completely lit up down there now.
Completely lit up now, yes, and which is less scary now. And now I'm going after the big monsters down there, and I'm trying to go kill them one by one. I'm definitely overpowered now. I didn't know that. I've just been wandering around just collecting stuff, and then I did the fairy quest, the large fairies in that game.
Yeah.
And when I released all of those, they let you upgrade your armor and stuff. So I think it's so funny.
You're just doing that right now.
Yeah.
You're so far into the game.
I do not know how to play Zelda games at all. I barely do any of the fancy moves. I do the backflip, but I don't do that rush attack, or I walk everywhere and then I glide and I climb.
Horses are useless. Like the horses are a pain in the ass.
I'm not a big fan of those.
So many other good ways to get around in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah. But anyways, I just fast travel around, but no, I just been grinding the hell out of it, and now that I realize I'm so powerful, I can just go anywhere, honestly, and not be afraid. And I'm playing like a different game than I was a few months ago, because like at that time it was like the wonder and like all this stuff. Now I'm like, all right, bitches, I was here earlier and you scared the fuck out of me, but now I've got my companion spirit guys. There's another one out there I can still find. I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
So the big sky, in the sky they have this giant cloud.
Yeah. I'm not there yet.
I think that's where I left off, actually.
I'm
okay.
Close.
Yeah, I went in there just to look around. I'm like, this is intense. I'll have to like dedicate like a night or two to solving it. But I won't say anything about the character, but I just like, I didn't know. And I've been playing this game so long. I'm like, there's another guy, another companion that can follow me around. So I just love that
so bad.
I just discovered something and I'm like, it's huge to me. I'm like, I've discovered things just going through areas that I kind of ran through earlier in the game. I'm going back to them and I'm just seeing things I didn't see before, like totally different areas. And I'm like, no, wait, there's like a whole rainforest I went through. I don't even remember this. And it's just full of caves. And it's all tropical and shit. And I'm like, when did I must have done this like the second or third night I had the game. I have no memory of it. So I'm literally just doing what it did with Skyrim and just look at everything. And it's just very rewarding. I think the only thing I have no interest in doing is getting the seeds. The core?
No. Those are a waste of time.
Just don't even bother.
Do that.
And I have a mask that like I have like a little thing that like a little leaf that spins on my head that lets me know when I'm near one. But dude, it's so they're like every 5 feet. There's like a million of them, and I'm like, I don't know where this is.
The reward for him is not worth it.
I'd rather stumble upon it and see like, oh, there's a tree stump there with a leaf carving on it. There's probably something I can jump from here.
The inventory slots are useful, and just solving the puzzles can be fun sometimes. But yeah, like you said, there's so many that it's not worth getting all of them. I feel like just kind of get until you feel comfortable with the amount of inventory space you have, and then just be like, whatever.
You get to like 12 and 15 swords, and I'm like, I have so many weapons, I don't even know what to do with it. Brandon, are you over your weapon degradation qualms by now?
I like Tears of the Kingdom because of the fusing, and some last longer than others. I like that I have companions that can blow up shit for me, so I don't have to waste a weapon on it. I'm at the point now where I'm killing these giant things and taking like a weapon and fusing that on there, and it's like 98 damage or something like that, So like I can take other bosses out in like 5 hits. And then that's been really cool. And I finally got the Master Sword, so I kind of did some of the main I've been working on the main campaign a little bit, but like I'm at the point now where like I can just go and probably fight Ganon or whatever. But
I'm sure.
Not interested.
Yeah, when I get to it.
Not interested.
But I'm definitely like. Yeah, I've got the Master Sword, and I explored. I'll end here, and we can move on to some. But I finally checked out the area where there's like the big cloud over that forest. Dave was like, he hasn't done this yet. Have you been there?
Woods.
Lost Woods.
Lost Woods. Mm-hmm. So you've been in there?
I've tried to go in there, but it keeps kicking me out, and I don't know exactly how to get in there.
Dave, if I tell you Dave knows how I did because I just kind of said it. But is that a spoiler? That's fine.
If I tell you? I'm fine with you spoiling it.
I accidentally found it through the depths because I was trying to find everything and anything I could under there. Mm-hmm. So as I'm exploring, I was like, where does this because it was like a little nook, and I'm like, oh, what does this take me? I'm like, oh, it might take me somewhere. So I shoot up it, and it took me right. I must have been underneath the forest, and it took me right in there. And then inside is a peaceful little area, and they're all freaking out. All those little leaf guys are all like freaking out. And you just kind of do that quest and kind of help them out. But yeah, shit's going on in there. But you have to go from the depths, I think, to get in there. Because from the outside, it just kicks you out.
Kicks you right out, yeah. I thought there was like a sneaky way that you can get in there or some item, but that's cool. That's cool that you found it through the depths.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sneaky. That was one of those things I was kicking myself after. Because I tried like two or three separate times to get in there. And then after Brandon told me, I was like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I should have.
I just assumed anything with that game, I just assumed like if I can't progress, I'll stumble upon it eventually by exploring. And that's what's so fun about that game. Just stumbling upon things through exploration.
That's all I want. And like I walk by and I look at like 3 trees and like, wow, they're perfectly next to each other. Is that a thing? I don't know.
If you think it is, it usually is.
It usually is because there's some hand that crafted that little thing they want. I know. And like in the depths, you'll see so many connections. It's like, why is this here? And why is that above it? Like, why are they the same thing? I found like water of like that are in the shape of lizards, and I'm like, between the 2 lizards, what is here? Like, why are they here? Well, so it's just I'm constantly like, is it just to look cool and maybe that's like world building, or is there a fucking thing to solve here?
Somebody did something.
Yeah, so it's got its grip on me, but
cool. What do you got going on over there, Dave?
Yes, Spider-Man.
I figured Eric might talk about Spider-Man, so I threw it on today.
I'm close. I'm close to the end. I have not finished it yet, but I know
Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, I think I have like 2 hours away from the end, so I'm gonna finish that soon.
And then a 25-year-old Zelda game got in the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
It happens. One that I picked up recently, and we're talking about old games. I played Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. Came out in 2019.
That's the Ubisoft guy or Assassin's Creed guy? Or
this is the Assassin's Creed guy. His name is Patrice Destile. He worked on Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. He worked on Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and Brotherhood, and then I think he did this one. I don't think this was a Ubisoft game. Private Division published it.
No, I don't think it was. I just knew that he was from Ubisoft.
Private Division put
and
together some other cool
sounds
stuff.
great.
Okay. But essentially, and this is a weird one. It takes a little bit to get used to, but you are set in prehistoric Africa, and you play as a monkey species on like 10 million BC.
Monkeys weren't around back then.
And then you eventually evolve your monkey brain and, start learning like the evolution of the species as they grow towards mankind, which is
Wait, how long ago was it? Are you playing in?
This came out in 2019.
No. Like what? The animal that you are. Like,
it's like 10 million years ago or something like that.
10 million years ago? No way.
Something like that.
No. Brandon can't.
Probably like.
They decided to create a game 10 million years in the past.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, and this is one of those games where they don't really tell you a lot when you first start it. You like they warn you in the very beginning, like you're gonna die a lot. Like heads up.
Okay.
Like you're gonna fuck up.
Are you the same thing the whole time, or like
No,
when you die, do you just start over?
You can
or are
switch
you
between
different?
apes in your village
Yeah.
and whatnot. So like you
Are they apes or are they monkeys, Dave? Again, they're not the same thing.
They go
Some sort of primate.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
You got like your little like village, like your little monkey village set up by a waterfall, and you got like the elder, and you got little babies running around, and you end up like evolving traits faster if you have baby monkeys on you, as you like they can crawl on your back and you can carry them around and go jump from tree to tree and go find food. And like if you're a younger monkey, they have like a fear mechanic in it where like shit starts popping out of the screen. It was kind of fucking with my head pretty bad, but
right.
But really what you want to do is essentially like you're going to end up like mating monkeys together.
Oh yeah, that's what they really wanted to play.
Yep. Well, you gotta set up a nice straw bed. You gotta get some food over there. And then you go over there, and go, and bang on the bed, and then the woman just comes over and just.
Are you being serious?
Yeah,
that's in the game. Oh my god!
The camera tilts up, and then
and then you go to Monkey Town.
Baby monkey comes out.
Oh my goodness!
But like, monkeys will mate. But if you want like to evolve your species, you may try and like skip a generation, or if your elder takes the tribe of monkeys, and this is kind of dangerous, you're taking the tribe of monkeys and you're going to go set up shop somewhere else in like a new location.
Yeah,
it can unlock like a ton of XP, and you can start you can start figuring out how sticks work and how how to cook food, or I don't know. I haven't gotten terribly far in it. I'm not cooking
food.
I'm not cooking food yet. Let's be honest. I'm just.
I was gonna say damn
stuff off the stick, but no, you're like controlling a species of monkeys through like the very like beginning of things, where like you have you can stand up on your hind legs, and you can look out and see things a little further in the distance, and you got to stare at them to like figure out like, oh, this is a tree, and this is where I get sticks from. This is water, and this is
what's the gameplay? Is this like a third-person game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a third-person game. I'd call it like a survival game probably, because it would fall. It's not really a ton of crafting. There is like light crafting in it, where like eventually you get to make like spears and stuff,
right?
And you can start like hunting things and getting a little more intense. But like the things that you're unlocking are like neural pathways to like figure out like, oh, I can make a tool with combining like a stick and a rock.
Yeah. Wait, how much time is going by in this game? Is it like millions of
generations?
Years?
You can skip generations, and I think there are certain spots where you
like Ardipithecus or whatever, like you see that species,
a certain species of monkeys, and then like time will pass and you go to the next species of monkeys, essentially.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty.
I should play this game.
Interesting. It's weird.
I'm into this because I love that kind of stuff. I love old human shit. Like I'm always blown away with like the Stone Age. Like seriously, like I know this is a tangent, but like I don't know where else to bring this up. But like I've been hung up on when did haircuts start? When did we start cutting our hair? When did we go from? Because if everybody just let their hair grow, it would fucking be long. Everyone's hair would just grow out.
Well, our bodies used to be covered in hair, so at the point where we evolved away from that, yeah, exactly. at the point
Right,
where we
but it
evolved,
was
where the hair was only on our heads or specific places in our bodies.
there has to be a time when like our common ancestor and us, like we were going from this phase where like we were losing hair, but we were having long hair grow on our head to the point where like, I'm just gonna take the sharp rock and cut it. And then it became probably religious, cultural, all that stuff. But at one
Well,
point,
maybe they're using it
when
for
did we
rope.
start haircuts, man? When
That's
did
Who
they
was the
start it?
first barber?
It's like, oh, I'm tired of like other animals like grabbing my hair and pulling me or something like that. I'm gonna cut it. You know, how did it? What made them cut it? What was the reason? So I don't know. I love this stuff, dude. I literally go to bed watching like before I go to bed, I watch YouTube videos of old ass shit like this. Like,
Take take
I
an
just- it's just
anthropology
interesting.
class. I think I took an anthropology class in college.
oh,
It was
at like night, just like a community
interesting.
class. That's not
A lot of reading, but it was interesting stuff.
Yeah, YouTube does enough for me, honestly. There's some
Yeah.
YouTube creators that I check out that cover this stuff. But sorry, anyways. But I should be
Google-
playing
no.
this game, is what I say.
Well,
I'm saying.
To answer your question, Google says that humans started cutting and combing their hair around
60,000?
40,000 years ago.
40,000. Okay, sure.
Okay.
First barbering services were performed by Egyptians in 5000 BC, where they used instruments made from oyster shells and sharpened flint.
See, wouldn't that be cool? Like cutting hair unlocked.
That's where they got
You
the
can cut hair.
they
Your
could.
mating
It's
levels
more-
go up because you have nice,
because you got a sexy
you got a bolt cut.
ape cut, and he's
Mohawk.
like, hey, you put some mousse in it, and you slick it back. Get some sunglasses. and
Right, you just grind
cool
some
fucking ape
beetles
up.
down, some worms, get like a nice,
Mm.
Yum.
This game sounds fucking
Gross.
awesome. All right,
It is
I'm
interesting,
sold.
but it's more discovering like food and tools and like listening for predators. If you're down on the
Yeah.
ground, like you could get jacked by a friggin' tiger or something like that.
Right.
You just die. If you fall too high from the trees, you break an arm or something like that. You got to go back and lay down for a little while until your broken arm just magically heals.
Okay.
No.
Sure.
There's like you got to worry about like what you're holding in your right hand and what you're holding in your left hand. Like you uncover a skill to like be ambidextrous, to like take something from your right hand and put it in your left hand. So like
Wow. Right.
right,
Right. Right.
It's
So,
in my other hand.
right.
And that's
funny.
like crafting because you have one thing in
My
one hand
dog
and
bites
the
her
other
tail.
thing in the other.
Like
right?
animals are dumb. That's cool. That's a big fucking yeah. I
It's
get
like
it.
yeah, it's those weird things that you would never. I don't know. You start taking for granted, like, hey, I can use two hands.
Sure.
Like monkeys didn't always think like that. So it's an interesting one. It was on sale for like $10 on Black Friday. It's one
Yeah,
I
that's
had
a
my
good-
eye on for a while. So I was like, fuck it.
Would you recommend it? $10? Sounds like it's worth
$10?
it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be patient with it though. You can't expect it
Fine.
to just jump in and have it explain things to you. It's a lot of trial and error. It'll be
Yeah,
a lot of
like it
figuring
was
it
for
out.
them for life.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
That's
yeah,
kind of the
for
point
life.
I think that they're
Yeah.
trying to get across. So
Cool.
yeah, that was an interesting one.
Cool. Well, let's see. What else did I check out here? I checked out. I'll go with a one that came out recently that I checked out. I didn't play too much of it, but I enjoyed what I played. SteamWorld Build, which just came to Game Pass.
I played a bit of that.
Try that. Yeah.
And it was
Like it?
fun. It's very chill. I have a long history with the SteamWorld games. They're like one of my favorite series, just because they're so creative and inventive. Like the SteamWorld, it always has like the same theme. These like steampunk robot characters, and they all take place in the same world. But each game in the series is a different genre. So the first game started out as like a tower defense game. Then they moved on to SteamWorld Dig, which was like a Metroidvania type
Yeah, they had
platformer.
2 of those, right?
SteamWorld Dig
I think.
2 is amazing. One of my favorite games in the series. Then they had SteamWorld Heist, which was a turn-based strategy game. And then they had SteamWorld Quest, which was a deck builder. And then now they have SteamWorld Build, which is a city builder / like dungeon crawler. So
those
yeah,
Warhammer games do that too, where like the IP is like, okay, but like what genre? And it's literally any genre.
it's so cool.
There's like a version of that.
What do you want to make?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this game, SteamWorld Build, like I said, is a city builder / dungeon crawler. I haven't even gotten to the dungeon crawling part. I've played like maybe an hour or two of this game, but it's very relaxed. I think it's a lot more. It's less intimidating than a lot of other city builders out there. Just from what I've seen so far.
Screenshots. It looked like,
There's a lot
how
of
are they getting this to work on a controller? It looks very
there's a lot of
It's pretty
stuff going
it's
menu
on.
heavy.
basic.
There's menus, but like really the gameplay loop, you're putting down your workers and your workers are gathering resources for you, and then you use the resources to build other things. So you're just
Okay.
really you're just plopping down buildings, and then you have to make sure that your workers have all of their needs met. So that you have to have the cactus water farm close enough to the worker camp so that they can they have enough water to drink, and then like they have to you have to make sure that there's a service shop so they can get tune-ups whenever they need to. So there's certain needs you have to fulfill from the workers, but it didn't feel, from my time with it anyways, it didn't feel overwhelming. I know I've seen the screenshots of like later game, and your city is like humongous, so maybe it gets more overwhelming. And there's like also a dungeon crawling aspect where you go into the mines and you're mining for resources down there too. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's almost like two games in one. You have the city builder on the surface, and then once you go down in the mines, it's more like a dungeon crawler, where you're like fighting monsters, and it's like, I think it's more like tower defense type stuff too. So
Okay.
It
yeah,
reminded
seems
me
It's
really
on
cool.
Game Pass. Maybe I'll stream it
Yeah.
sometime.
Check it out.
the
Yeah,
surface stuff reminded me of like an older sim game because it was like pretty basic.
it is
Like,
very
your dirt,
That's what I liked
like
about it. It's really
yeah,
chill.
it's pretty straightforward. It's like you're not building like residential areas or whatever.
Exactly.
You're like, I'm gonna put these buildings here. I'm gonna
Yep.
connect them with a road, and then just go
That's
on.
really the only specification. You can plop a building anywhere as long as you connect a road to it, and that's really
Yeah.
about it.
And then you want the thing you were saying, like having things within a distance of each other. So like having
Yep.
the warehouse near the lumber mill, so they can bring the lumber to there, and then that can go out to like the greater area and stuff like that.
But yeah,
Um,
you're pretty much
It was
just
an interesting,
plopping down buildings and
pretty much.
make sure that you have enough resources to build them. But it's not stressful at all. Like I get pretty overwhelmed sometimes with city builders. Like I was playing City Skylines a couple weeks back, and like it was fun for the first hour until none of my residents had power, and I didn't have money to build any more power plants, and everybody was getting mad and wanting to leave, and pollution was going crazy, and I'm like, this sucks. This is too stressful for me. So this
That's when
one
the
I feel
riots
like is
start.
more my speed. So if it's, I guess this is a good like baby's first city builder, because so
Mhm.
far the mechanics are not overly complex and complicated.
It's
I'm gonna have to
very
check it out because
tutorial, very tutorial heavy in the beginning. Like they're telling you specifically what like the steps you need to take in order to
Mhm.
get
that's
to where
common
you
in
need to
that
go.
genre, though.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
love,
not like they're
I just love the SteamWorld aesthetic
Aesthetic
too.
and
It's fun, and the characters are fun, and all they're all like fully voiced and everything too. So it gives it more personality. So it's a good game.
Game Pass dropped a bunch of like nice games. I checked out
Yeah,
around there. Yeah,
too many. I downloaded a bunch, and I still have yet to check
I
out
know.
a lot of them.
I know.
the time of year. I wonder where if they're like end of year, it's around Christmas, it's just gonna dump games on people.
Yeah,
And just,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
try and
because yeah,
Yep.
get the Game Pass bus going because they put like maybe 10 games on in like the last week or two.
yeah. There's like
Yeah.
every
It's
time
like
they
eight, maybe eight. I don't know.
every time they drop new ones, I'm like, yeah, I want to check that out. I've heard about that. Yes, I want to check this out. Like I'm like, oh,
Right.
let me install this. And a lot of them are smaller games too, so they're like 1 or 2 gigs. So I'm like, yeah, I'll install that
Right.
and save it for later.
Exactly.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's just hard to just check out all these games. I just have to dedicate a night or two to just take a tour of all these games, and if one sticks, I can stick with it or whatever. So
Right.
it's just too many games, man.
Too many. Yeah. Are you good on the?
Yeah, SteamWorld Build. I recommend if it sounds at all interesting to you. I think again the SteamWorld just brand is enough to check it out for me, just because I find it so charming. But yeah, if you're interested at all, yeah, check it out on Game Pass.
I'm a little late to the party with the Hogwarts thing. I won't talk about it really at all, but just that I'm playing it finally. Hogwarts Legacy.
Is this what
And
will finally
I'm not-
get you into Harry Potter?
Dude, I've never read a book. I've only watched like 2 of the
Element.
movies. Not, it's just never grabbed me, but the video game is a blast. It is so cool walking around that world, and it's so big, and I just want to explore it. I kind of want to buy it. I borrowed it from my library, but I kind of want to just own the damn thing. But yeah, so it's just really cool. I'm excited. I want to get my broom and all that stuff. Or stick. Is it broom? What do they have in that?
It's a
The broom, yeah.
Broom? Yeah.
Broomstick, you could call it.
But I really wanted to talk about was this game called The Quarry that I've been playing.
Yeah.
Is
Do you guys know about that game?
I do, yeah.
that like one of those narrative games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same people as Until Dawn.
Exactly, yeah, Supermassive games or
Supermassive,
something like that.
yes,
I think
yep.
this is like their shtick is to make these interactive movie games, right?
Yep.
And they use like real actors. They're kind of pushing the technology and that stuff. I guess The Quarry is kind of one of their better ones. So I've played a little bit. I remember on Game Pass, A Man from Medina or something like that
Yeah,
came
The
out.
Man from Dan,
Probably
yeah.
played that for. Yeah, and I played that for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, this is cool, and I just went off Game Pass before I went back to it. So, but anyways, Quarry. So I looked at it and it said it had multiplayer mode, and I'm like, what the hell's that? So I looked into it, and it's like a couch co-op game. I mean, you can play online maybe with people, I don't know, but anyways, you can play the game in movie mode, and it just makes decisions for you and plays itself out, or you can control the characters in this. And it's a horror movie, right? It's like that's the thing. It's like a slasher thing. Like, hey, here's a bunch of teenagers, and then they can die, or I don't know. I haven't even finished them. I'm pretty far, but I won't talk about the story. But just the genre is pretty interesting. So I was like, hey, you know what? My buddy that lives next, like a couple houses away from me, we're always like playing guitar and banjo and shit together, and we're like, we always talk about, hey, we also love video games, and he's like, yeah, dude, like next time we hang out, like why don't we just play games instead? I'm like, we should do that. So I got The Quarry, and I go, dude, apparently it says multiplayer. So we set it up, and it was cool. There's 8 characters. He goes, hey, there's 8 characters, right? So however you want to divvy this up. And like, well, there's 2 of us. So I picked 4 characters, and he picked 4 characters. And those are the chapters. Those are the scenes, I guess. So player 1, you get this character, you play their scene, something happens to them, whatever. But you can make decisions. So it's quick time events a little bit. Honestly, it really feels like Telltale games. It really does. Very basic. You kind of just walk around the set and you find things, and then something big happens, and then you have to decide this or that, basically. It's the same thing. So if you want to play Telltale games, but instead very cinematic, it's cool. What I like about the technology is that they're getting close to capturing that actor sometimes. Like some of the scenes are like, wow, that looks like a movie. And other times it's like, nah, it's just not there yet. Uncanny Valley kind of stuff, video gamey. Obviously, eyes, teeth, lips, right?
That's the big ones. Those are the big ones.
But this game, though, has incredible lighting, incredible cinematography. The acting is legit because they're all real actors.
It's got the kid from Pokemon in it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He's one of the one I'm playing. And it's great. But anyways, I just want to push that the technology is really cool, and sometimes it's a turnoff because they're so close that it's like Polar Express. You ever see that fucking movie?
Yes.
Uncanny Valley.
CG looks. Yeah. It's just a hard watch because the CG is just at a time where like it's probably good at the time, but it just.
Well, that was one of the first movies that they used like motion capture on real actors to do like the animation. So like the animation is good because it's motion capture, but it doesn't.
They're dead in their face.
Right, exactly.
It captures the little details.
Yeah.
So this game, it does that, dude. It really does capture a lot of stuff, like the little smirk, the gestures, the puff, your eyes, like they squint, and in some shots it looks really good, and you kind of forget you're playing the game. But
lighting can do a lot of work too.
Yeah.
Especially in a video game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but it's fun. We're having a blast. Just 2 dudes. Kids go to bed. It's late at night. We crack a beer and we just play. Yeah, dude. So
with controllers, right? You don't use your phone or anything to play.
No, we're just passing the controller. It just says player 2, and hey,
That's
you're
cool.
player 2. So then, and then you get your character. But it's great. It's just like watching a movie, but you get to make the decisions, and like maybe you'll keep that teenager alive, or maybe you'll get them killed, right? But we're role playing a little bit, and what's funny is like this game has stereotypes. So like There's the jock. There's the dork. One of the kids is a podcaster. The one from Pokemon. He's like a podcaster.
Okay.
Just
He's
like a
always, like,
horror
wearing
movie, a
headphones,
slasher
like-
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the characters, I think his name is Dylan. He's gay, and it's hilarious because like you don't know at first, right? But the two characters like kind of sneak into a room, and one's clearly flirting with him, and we both agree that we're gonna have fun like role playing. Yeah, we're two straight dudes, whatever. We don't really care, but it was funny because he's like, dude, I'm gonna be Dylan, and I'm like, yeah, Dylan it up, man. We had no idea where it was gonna go, and it was fucking fun. It was just fun seeing him flirt with this other character who may or may not be gay, because this character trying to figure it out in this horror movie, and it's just like this is something you would see in a horror movie, just like characters flirting with each other, they like this one or that one. But I didn't see the two guys, and it was just great. He's like, I'm gonna say it, because you can decide what you say, and it'll like, oh, Dylan didn't like that,
Right.
or
Yeah,
Steve didn't like that, or Jake, so it's just like, I don't know, it's just like Telltale. So I'm having a great time. I won't give anything away from the story because that's kind of the draw. It's actually a well done story. So if you see it, it's on sale, or you can borrow it from your library or whatever.
From our
Grab some
library.
beers, grab some friends, pick your characters, and it's long, dude. We've probably logged in about 12 hours, 10 hours into
Holy
it, and we're
shit.
still like,
Really?
yeah. Well, because
Looks
you
like
walk
it's on
around,
sale
it's like,
for like $15 now. At this
really?
point,
Okay. Yeah,
which
there's like
looks
a
pretty
DLC
impressive.
that like makes it look different, and they said that there's 168, I think, different endings to this
Yeah,
game.
Oh.
that's cool.
That's cool.
So
That's always
yeah, well, yeah, because
selling
he
point
got
for
one
me.
of the characters killed off right away. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." I'm like, "Go ahead, do it." And then like, yeah, you got the character killed. It's like, well, I guess that character's out for the rest of the game. But if you didn't do that, they might still be around. And it's just like when that shit
I
happens,
love that. I love that
it's just cool.
stuff in video games. Like
But it's
consequences.
so much hand holding in this game though. Like not hand holding, but the way they crafted it, like even the camera work is I was watching how this guy had like VR like cameras or something like that, and he was basically moving the camera in the game with these controllers to make it mimic like he was holding a real camera, so he was getting like real movement like a human would and stuff like
cool.
that. So he's really
That's
trying
sweet.
to capture that stuff even though it's in a game. So but anyway, so yeah, the
Sweet.
Quarry, that's all I want to say.
That
Awesome.
sounds cool. I'm gonna add it to the list. It sounds like a good wife game.
Yeah, definitely.
You definitely should.
All right, yeah, Dave, what do you got? What else you got?
What else do we got over here? I watched Peacemaker.
Okay.
Peacemaker.
That is
Oh,
it.
the
The
TV
John
show.
Cena one,
DC
right?
This is John Cena, yeah, DC show about a hero named Peacemaker who I literally knew nothing about. I'd watched Suicide Squad like a year or two ago when that
Yeah, which
came
is
out.
great. The James Gunn one.
Yeah.
And this takes place after.
Yeah.
Is this like it's like after the movie?
It's
Okay.
it's a legit sequel to those other movies because like it starts where that last one ends or whatever.
Okay. I thought the movie was great.
It deals
Actually.
with it deals with the Peacemaker and the decisions that he makes in that movie and coming back to like normal regular life. But like it's such the character in general of Peacemaker is it's fucking John Cena when you look at him, and then
Yeah.
on top of it, like he's completely like a complete stereotypical like bro dude, like through and through the entire show, and like he's got the dumbest outfit. Like his whole moniker is like, I love peace so much that I will kill as many people as it takes to get peace. And I'm like,
That's funny.
like it just like that whole thing is just an oxymoron where it's just dumb.
Yeah.
Like he's running around in this bright ass red thing with a big dove of peace on
Stupid
it with this
helmet.
giant silver helmet that looks dumb as shit. But it was a fun little ride.
Is he based off of a comic or is he just made up?
There's a
DC.
comic.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
DC stuff is weird. I never got too into DC when I was a kid. So
Well, let me ask you, Dave.
Just the main ones.
That you have an issue with well-known people in your shows. Did you have an issue with John Cena?
At first, I saw a lot of Cena, but then no.
Okay.
Like I don't.
Got into the character.
I think that and this is weird to say, like Cena's acting is good enough to like.
That seems like the perfect character
pull
for him
off.
to play too.
Yeah, it kind of is because
Yeah, I thought he was really good in the role, and I've never watched wrestling. He's from wrestling, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and I don't watch any of the shit that I didn't really care for 21 Jump Street, so I have no attachment to this guy. I thought he was just as an actor, his timing was good.
He's funny.
His
Yeah.
delivery was good in the movie.
Better than he has any right being. For like, he has a pet eagle named Eagly. Like, it is so dumb.
It's a bro fucking name for
like, but it is so goddamn hilarious that it's got that.
Gunn did this.
James Gunn did. He did direct a couple, like 2 or 3 of the episodes, and I think he wrote them all, but he passed the directorial.
All right, as long as he was involved,
that's
cool.
Because I like James.
But yeah, so you got that seal of quality where it's like it's a good story. It's not gonna blow the roof off your doors or anything like that as far as like cinematic experiences, but it's it's a fun, dumb, like comic book movie or show, I should say. I think it's only like
Max,
8 or 10 episodes.
Is it on Max?
Yeah, it's on Max.
Okay.
HBO, please.
HBO.
It's still HBO.
HBO.
But no, it was a fun one. I don't want to spend too much time on it. It's worth it if you like superhero shit. It's worth checking out. Like, it's not. I was sick this last weekend, so I watched a bunch of that. I watched The Watchmen. I watched all sorts of comic book stuff, and that one
Watchmen's good. Did you wait the movie or the TV show?
The movie, and we'll just say that movie is still fucking fantastic.
It is a good movie, totally a good movie. I can't believe it was panned when it came out. Like,
underrated for what it is. Like, I get, you're comparing that to like at the time like Iron Man's and Captain America's, and they're just like completely different flavors of Kool-Aid. Like, they're both good, but they just taste different. So you gotta.
I like them dark and gritty though, and that just was like what if one of the fucking superheroes raped one of the other fucking superheroes? That's a serious fucking thing to talk about, like what if? Because like that's what The Boys is doing,
right?
Like these are just because they're superheroes, they're hero. Just because they're superpowers doesn't mean that they're perfect. They're not all Superman.
Right.
And
That's
Batman
what makes it. That's what makes it interesting. Yeah.
And that was kind of like the thing when I saw that movie, like, damn, that's fucked up. And he's like a hero to people, and it's just like, and he knows he's a piece of shit. So there's a TV show that came out that kind of is in that world. I know the creator didn't really like it, but the TV show, I guess, was
while we're in that realm, just say your piece about it, because I'm interested in hearing about it with Gen V.
Oh yeah, I guess we can jump over that too.
I mean, we're in that
we are in
realm.
The superheroes. Well, speaking of everybody's not Superman and Batman, Gen V, which is a boys offshoot, which I got done watching. I finished up.
You finished it
this week?
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to do this
all
with the
done.
show. And I want to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, it ties into the boys universe, and it explores like the superheroes. Like, they put Compound V and all these kids things, and essentially there's like, what do they call it? Godolkin Academy, where it's just essentially like a college for superheroes, where they're teaching like crime fighting and like. Well,
the trailer to me, I'm wearing my My Hero Academia shirt. It looked like My Hero Academia. That's like a violent
because
version.
There is a ranking system of who's the most popular student, and it's like it's a combination.
Egos and shit.
A lot of this,
like,
the social media stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because like,
too many like boys characters make an appearance in this. Is it like in the same time?
There's a slight yes.
Okay. All right. I'm sure. I don't want to spoil anything, but okay.
Don't expect a ton, but
I totally forgot the show even existed. I've totally, because it kind of came out and I was just like,
yeah, and it came out and kind of disappeared, but it does tie in. As somebody that read the comic books, I can see how Gen V to the larger boys story as a whole.
Oh,
so if you are interested in like the bigger story of the boys, Gen V is definitely something you should watch. There are some superheroes that they touch on in the comics that they don't talk about in the show, like the boys. The Batman of the boys world is called Tech Knight, and he's got his own thing. I don't want to spoil anything, but some of the shit that happens there is fucking goddamn laugh out loud hilarious. But it's like kids that are like coming of age and college, like all the dumb shit that you could do in college. Just imagine that, where everybody has fucking superpowers, and like the amount of absurd dumb shit that happens is kind of baffling. It's hilarious. It's got that boys feel, that boys sense of humor to it. You know, there is the word cunt in the show. You know, it happens. So I don't know.
We're adults. We can handle it.
Yeah, there's more gore than there is language, but at this point, you know, kind of, as long as you're not showing boobies, all the murdered people in the world, it doesn't matter. You just don't show a nipple.
I mean, I think just in this year, maybe last year included, but I think this year we saw a lot of this kind of dark material from Amazon with these dark shows, like the Boys, right, with Gen V, and then they had Invincible, not only season 2, but even like between the season 1 and season 2, they had that offshoot about the one character. She had her own like hour movie or something like that too, right?
Well, they had
Adam Eve.
They had a game, like an Adam
Eve,
Adam Eve, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a game.
I mean, they did Vox Machina too, like,
right.
Yeah, they do some cool shit.
But yeah, they're just like, we've been talking about how games have been coming out. Like, man, if you like these shows, like the shows didn't slow down. I think the movies, I don't know too many big movies, but like that, yeah. I'll check it out. Maybe we can put it on the show.
You guys definitely should. Having seen the other seasons of The Boys, and I think season 4 of The Boys is coming up soon, and those books have a stopping point. So like, there's only so many of these that they're gonna make. So
right,
you know, it's worth soaking it in.
Sweet.
Whoa, show.
Well, we're at 45 minutes. I got a couple more small ones. Yeah, so I'll get through mine real quick. I don't know if you guys have anything larger to talk about, but I'll just blow through mine. I did a little bit of VRing, a bit.
Oh, you did now, did you?
So I got I told you I got the that subscription, that Meta subscription, where it gives you 2 free games every month. It's only like $8 a month, and they give you 2 free games every month, and they're to own, not just like, I think if you like dip out of the subscription, you still retain those games. So,
okay. Fuck you, PlayStation, because you don't do that shit. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's $8 a month. Oh, Dave, you're muted, by the way, if you didn't know. Yeah, so I got this game, NFL Pro Era, from one of the months.
Oh, you a quarterback there?
It is, yeah. It's basically an NFL quarterback simulator. I mean, I'll start with the bad. It's very bare bones. It's a VR game, so there's limitations with the tech. So like, you know, it doesn't look the best. It kind of looks like Madden 2005 on your PlayStation 2, but it's not terrible. It's got like the you know, like the 2D sprite audience with just like the canned animations. Exactly. Yep, exactly.
I love it.
And on the sidelines, the players are like super low poly. And it's very bare bones. Like when you're on, you know, when your team's on defense, you can either stand there and watch them, or you can just simulate it till your next offensive possession. But and I don't know if there's any actual penalties in the game. Like, I've never seen a penalty happen. So it just seems very bare bones. The presentation isn't great, but beyond all of that, it's fun when you're in the moment. You're under center, you're ready to snap the ball, and you're trying to pick your receiver, where you're gonna go find the open guy, and you know, just that feeling, that rush you get in VR.
You didn't whip a controller into the wall or your TV or anything?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Is it you like pull it back and then you like release the button when you want to throw it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And there is like a lot of assist on it too. Like you can either turn like pass assist on or off. I tried it with both. And like I don't know. I flip flop between, because the pass assist, it chooses which receiver you're actively looking at. Like you highlight them basically by looking at them, and if you throw in their direction, it'll go to that receiver.
Okay. Do you gotta do like the hands under center?
Yeah, like you literally get down, snap the ball, and then you drop back.
You gotta do like 3-step back, 3-step drop.
So it's an automatic. You can either turn on or off automatic drop back because I mean
Okay.
you kind of drop pretty far back. So
You don't want to trip.
you don't
over
want.
your
Yeah,
counter
I don't
shit.
want to physically be dropping back and run into a wall or something. But
that sounds fun.
it is fun, and like I don't know, just that feeling you get in VR, you can't really replicate in with another video game. Like there was, I was like, I don't know, it was fourth quarter, like 10 seconds left on the clock. I was down by like, I needed a touchdown to win the game, and I was on like, the 5-yard line. Called the play, nobody's open. I fucking QB sneak, ran it right up the gut, touchdown, boom, win the game.
Dude,
like,
that's cool. That's
like
cool.
you just can't replicate that
Yeah,
feeling.
how do you
run?
move? Yeah.
You can. There's a couple different modes. You do the running motion and it'll run you forward, or you can just have it where you just hold down the triggers and turn to which direction you want to go.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's awesome.
What do you do?
I do the run. I want the
that
feeling
movement.
of running.
Fuck yeah.
And then you get into the end zone and just fucking spike the ball. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Does it have the NFL license?
It does. Yes, it has all the teams.
Okay.
It has all the teams and player
the
names
49ers?
and everything. I am the quarterback of the 49ers. But they don't again, limitations of the tech. The players, you look at their faces, they look like nothing like the fucking players.
Oh, they try to look like the players too?
No. They have set faces, I'm assuming it's all the same faces you can choose for your character when you're creating them, and they probably just chose the one that closest resembles the player.
That's
but
funny.
you look at them and it
Portuguese
looks
are funny like that.
It looks nothing like them, and I'm like,
They've come a long way now, but I remember back in the 90s playing on PC. I remember NHL 98 or something like that, and I was like, oh my god, they got and it was like a flat face, and they just took a photo and just put it on their face, and I was just like, it looked in the game, wow, it really looked like them.
Right.
But years later, when you look back, I'm like, oh my
It looks
god,
awful.
so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's funny though. Yeah, whatever. But it sounds like it's fun, and that's kind of what you signed up for. What was the other game that you play then?
Oh,
Or did you?
what, the VR game?
Yeah.
No, I
Did you
didn't.
get two?
No. Well, you get 2 from that subscription each month, but the NFL one was the one that I actually checked out.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But just 2 other quick hits here. I played through a game on my phone, so I kind of finished Slay the Spire. I beat it with all 4 characters. I didn't get to the big ending, but I was close enough, and I'm just like, it's time for me to end it. So I had this other game called Overland on my phone. It's also another Apple Arcade game. It also came out on other consoles, but came out in 2019 initially. But it's like a post-apocalyptic turn-based strategy survival game. So it's pretty cool. You're basically just making your way across the country in this post-apocalyptic landscape after this comet crashed on Earth and aliens took over.
Yeah.
So you're collecting materials along the way, weapons and gas. Oh, a main mechanic, which is cool, is your car. So you need to make sure that you have enough gas in your car to get from point to point. So you can choose whenever. So each area is just a little vignette, and it's it's like a 10 by 10 or 20 by 20 square area. You move each square. So after you progress through that, you can choose another point on the map, which might either be there's some survivors that want to trade with you, so you can trade some of your items. There's a gas station to get more gas. There's a point where you can, get more materials, you can find more weapons and stuff. So you can choose a point, and whatever point you choose, depending on how far away it is, there's a certain gas cost to get there. So you're managing the gas in your vehicle, and if you run out, it's game over, basically. You can't.
But what's the gameplay on your phone though? I get some of that. That's tapping menus and stuff, but
yeah, it's turn-based strategy. So essentially, once you get to an area, your goal is to get to the other side of the area without dying, and to get your car through, and to get all of your survivors through. So you can do that by, you can just kind of roll straight through if you wanted to, but you'll miss out on resources like gas and weapons and stuff like
Right.
that you need to survive and progress in the game. So you're scrounging for resources, you're strategizing so you don't get murdered by the aliens, and whenever you like kill one of them, it'll make noise, and then other ones will like
alerts.
pop up from the ground.
Oh, okay.
So
Son of
so it's like a
a
risk reward type of thing.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
But
yeah,
it's really cool. I beat
you're
it.
liking it. Playing the. Oh, you beat it already.
I beat it. Didn't take me
art
too long.
style on it looks cool.
Yeah, it's
like
really
a,
cool.
like
It
a
works.
low poly kind of
Yeah,
look and feel to it. So it probably runs pretty nicely on phones, I would guess.
yeah, it's a nice little indie game. Developed by Finji. But yeah, it came out a couple years ago, 2019. But it's just been sitting on my phone, downloaded from Apple Arcade. So I'm like, oh, check that one out, and that became my new like morning game for a while until I just beat it today actually. So yeah, it was fun, fun one. Last one was a big hit with the kid. We played through this entire game together. Lego City Undercover, which is
Dude, it's on sale right now, and I was
dude, it
looking
was
at all these
$5
Lego games.
when I bought it.
Yeah,
on
it is.
Xbox.
Yeah. Okay, sell it to me because we were
So
playing
good.
Lego Indiana Jones, and
Dude,
I was like, "This is great."
here's
this
the
old
pitch.
One, but yeah,
GTA but Legos. That's the pitch. So
Okay.
you're in a
just this big city.
you're in an open world Lego world. You're driving. So I mean, in GTA, you're normally a bad guy. In this one, you're the good guy. You're a cop, but you do go
You're not
undercover.
picking hookers with your kid.
I was gonna say, are there Lego hookers?
Not that I've seen, but maybe they're hiding somewhere in
Oh.
Lego City. But yeah, so when you're not on a mission, you can explore the open world through the city. You can hop into vehicles just like GTA. Drive around.
That's
There's
cool.
collectibles all over the city. And then when you're in a mission, it's more akin to like your normal Lego game experience that you're thinking of. So you got that like fixed camera angle in front, and you're just going around these levels,
Kind of solving. Yeah.
yeah. So it's really fun, and this was kind of the first big game that my son actually wanted to get his hands on the controller and play, which was really cool to see. Like he can actually, I mean, he's 4 years old, so he's doing the controls. He's swapping the main mechanic in this game is swapping disguises. So like you can be a construction worker,
He probably loves that.
you can be a robber, you can be a fireman, and like each of the disguises has like a different ability to like either unlock a door or fix a fuse box or
Oh yeah.
They use
Drive a
that in the
certain
Marvel
vehicle.
games a lot.
yeah. So
Like
it's,
you need a
Yeah.
certain
Lego.
power.
Lego's a great franchise for kids to get exposed to video games if you want them. They're
Definitely.
so basic, and you can always just help them out. And that's so fun. And the collecting is great. You see all the characters, like, oh, I can unlock all these characters. Like, yeah, dude, let's go get them. So that's great. I've been
Highly
looking at that
recommend it.
one and a couple other ones. Dimensions is not available on the Xbox right now, and it has like Goonies and like Ghostbusters.
That's
Like you
awesome.
can do all these like cool things, but I can't. I can't get that one, but this one looks good.
One thing I love about the Lego games is the humor too is actually legitimately funny, especially in this game too. Like it's a fun story.
They're usually funny in general.
There's like there's actual like cutscenes, and there's a story going on, and it's there's a ton of like movie references, which was nice for me as like the parent playing alongside the kid, which made it fun. So like it's a great game to play with your kid.
It's like 10 years old at this point too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still, I
All
mean,
those
it's a
Lego
Lego
games
game.
get,
So it still looks good.
And Xbox optimizes them so they actually look pretty sharp. As I was playing an old 360 one and the Indiana Jones one, and it's up-res. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, the textures aren't, but still, like the models are.
Yeah,
This initially came out on the Wii U too. Shout out to
Oh,
Wii
wow.
Oh, hey, there you
shout
go,
out
Dave.
to
Once
you.
you and the
Classic.
5 other people that got that. I go,
Yep.
that's right.
U. We're all gonna get together and have a con.
I know you want to wrap up. I just
That's
wanted
it
to
for me.
say, and it's not for kids, but I finally got around to checking out Mortal Kombat 1. It is fucking awesome, dude.
Mhm.
The story in it is so fucking good. When you said funny, I was like, Johnny Cage is fucking funny in this game, dude. It is such, I don't know. NetherRealm, it's NetherRealm, right?
Yeah.
that made those. Yeah,
NetherRealm,
those
yep.
guys. They know how to make fun stories. Ever since Injustice 2, they've like impressed me with like, wow, these are like really likable characters and fun plots. So just big shout out. The game looks great. It's super fun to play. I really feel like I'm watching a movie. It's so good looking, and then I have to like, oh, I gotta go fuck this person up. So the game was great. Super good.
The way that they intertwine, like, because you have so many characters in those games.
So
It's
many,
like
dude.
20
It's so
something
fun.
characters. But they
Yep.
group them into like little groups, and then they eventually, like, I don't know, they have all their stories intertwined very nicely the way that they're telling the stories, and they know that like eventually two people, you have to boil it down to like two people fighting, and it's usually like one good guy
Well, sometimes, but you
fighting
had
like
your
3 fights against bad guys, and then you move the
yeah.
story forward. But
it's
good.
It did something really cool I didn't really think of, which is like at one point you start off and you're introduced like Kung Lao and Raiden. Is it Kung Lao and Raiden, right? Yeah. And like Raiden has like no fucking powers. He's really like, and we all know how badass he's a fucking god. And like, but this is the reboot. All of them been reset, and like it's a different what if kind of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just like a guy that really knows how to just like kind of fight and kick and punch and all that stuff. But
and farm
you and farm, yeah, and like. You unlock abilities later on as you play, and it's just cool because like you see that in the movie, you know, they have nothing and then they get the ability, then they get stronger and they get more abilities. So I thought that was really cool that the game was doing something I would see in the movie. So just another shout out to the storytelling that they did over there. And
did you finish it?
I think.
Did you finish the story?
I finished the story. Yeah.
Okay. I knew Dave did. I wasn't sure if you did yet, Brandon.
Yep, and it's got killer DLC characters, dude. So
did you buy it or rent it?
I'm still upset about that. No,
I'm borrowing it from my library.
Okay, you're borrowing it. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Still upset about DLC. I'm not buying anything until they come out with the big pack. It's got.
Oh yeah, of course. They always.
Yeah. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb that they. Shang Tsung, the main character, the main bad guy.
Oh, that's fucking rude. I know.
That's stupid.
Which is so stupid because he's like one of the key characters of the fight. He's like the reason all this shit. Yeah,
it's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
It was silly shit. I do have one more if we're trying to get out of here. And
sure.
I know Brandon played it with me too. I gotta mention it before it goes
Fast
away.
and nasty.
Dune Spice Wars. RTS.
I knew you were gonna talk about this game. And go ahead.
I know it's not your flavor, Brandon. Because
it's produced well. It sounds great. I don't like it.
It is.
But
it is like a video board game.
For like 4 hours with
like
it. So
that's how I know that Brandon. Like it's just not your style. It's fine. But it is like I was supposed to play Twilight Imperium this last weekend. Can't tell I'm sick. I was voted off the island. I was not allowed to play Twilight Imperium.
Which is a board game.
Which is a board game.
People don't know that.
Which is like it's a 4X board game. What is it? Explore, exterminate, expand.
The game you're playing is like
Extreme.
Yeah, something.
But the game you're talking, that board game that Dave was supposed to play with his buddies, how long were the board game sessions supposed to be? Like, how long does it last?
They had 5 players and it lasted 8.5 hours.
Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. So, this Dune game is kind of scratching that a little bit, right?
It is,
a lot
because
of the same...
it's got that Civ thing where, like, you can win by warfare, you can win by technology, you can win by economy. It's got that Civ element to it. But it's all baked into like a real-time strategy game where it's faster than a Civ game where, like, you know, you take over a couple things and you got to go kill this guy or something like that. But every time, you know, you're doing it, you've got to kind of balance, like, you know, what kind of build do you want? Are you going to go military? Are you going to go economic? Are you going to go try something else? But it did scratch that Twilight Imperium itch a little bit because it does have a lot of... It's got very board gamey elements, I would say, to it. Like even
this is, I think, how you knew how to do anything. Because I'm like, well, how do you do that? And like, well, I was like, I've done this before in like board games. I'm like, oh my god, this is like a virtual board game.
Well, like when you click in the right stick or whatever, it zooms out to like the strategic view.
Yeah,
and it is literally like looking at a board game map. Like it's just the zoomed out view. All you see is icons. You're like, I have 3 dudes here. I can see the territories, of these territories. Borders. Yeah. And you're like, I'm going to move these guys over here and like kind of figure it out that way.
Each territory has like, if you capture it, has like a little village and you can take it over, you know, and then like it might have like spice because it's Dune, which is cool. Like the giant worms will attack. There'll be like sandstorms going through. Like the production in it is really good. You just got to know what you're getting into. Don't expect an RTS because at first it looks and kind of plays like one, but I'm getting my ass kicked because I'm like going around attacking like these little small towns and villages, whatever. But I'm also running my resources thin, like in real life. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what I'm a bro gamer, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I like
I
this
saw-
game. It wants me to like think and pay attention to
Wants
fucking
me to
water supply. Get a dew collector. Oh, your spice is being like, and I'm like, I can't.
It wants me to engage with mechanics.
3 fucking hours, and like I could have like done so much in Zelda. In this game, I've done nothing. I've actually lost stuff, and I'm in the Stone Age as
we were
compared to
having rough.
Dave.
I saw a video where a dude had like 15 troops or something on the map. When you and me were playing with like 2 or 3 at a time.
Oh yeah, I had like
there's like
3,
actual
yeah.
big combat that can happen in
Oh.
it. You just
I would
gotta
play
get
if we can convince Eric to play. The 3 of us can go
I would
against
check it
one
out.
computer.
Yeah.
Because
It reminds
it
me of
looks
play
like
with you guys.
It sounds great. It sounds awesome. It's great
Space
soundtrack.
Age of Empires. Like, is that a close enough comparison where it's like
Age of
you got your
Empires,
own-
but not as fun. But yes,
You got your own technology tree. I think the part of it that's not as fun is I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not a Dune person, but like the planet Arrakis, like it's a big fucking desert planet. It's kind of boring as shit. It's kind of meh. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I wanna be in like forests and harvesting resources.
Yeah.
And shit like
Why don't
that.
they
Like,
make
I'm-
another Star Wars RTS? They had that Empires game that was like huge, but they
Oh.
shut that shit down. But I would love
Or Lord
a
of the
Star
Rings.
Wars. Yeah.
Bring back
Well, Lord of the Rings Battle for
RTS.
Middle Earth 2 is my favorite game of all time, and it pains me to even think about it. It like hurts my soul, kills me. But like that era on the 360, PS3, RTSs were figured out. We figured them the fuck out, but people just didn't play them, and it pains me that it's just not a genre that we see much. There are a few, but they're just not as good as those ones that we played that generation. I'm telling you right now, and I buy them, I try them. There's one that came out for Warhammer, that Warhammer series, man. They have an RTS game. It looks really fucking good. And somebody said in the comments, first comment, the closest thing we will have to Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth 2, and I'm like,
There you go.
because I don't want to buy it for $70 and be like,
Fuck this.
But oh, dude, yes.
That's cool.
RTS has
I
been
don't
a
know.
genre that I've had a hard time getting into in the past.
It's
what
one of
it
my
is.
faves,
I
dude.
feel like it would be.
A good
It's
one
more
is so
fun
fun.
with like if I was gonna play with you guys, just by myself.
For
Yeah,
sure.
dude.
You know?
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is weird though, like 'cause it takes so much concentration that like it felt weird with me and Brandon playing it. It's just like we're both 2 dudes just sitting with headsets on, just sitting in silence,
Right.
just like
I know.
thinking and managing our cities
All
and
of a
doing
sudden,
shit. And I'm like,
Dave, I need
can't-
help. I'm being attacked.
Yeah. I'm being murdered.
Oh, I'm playing with somebody. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, but yeah, it does.
I was like doing this though, and I was just like
Nodding off.
I'm being
Yeah.
attacked.
4X. If you like
It's
4X
relaxing.
games, like this would scratch that 4X itch. So I thought it was cool. I just wanted to shout it out because I know that
Yeah.
we're probably, I don't know. I'm assuming you probably already deleted it.
No, but I'm close.
Listen,
I was
if
holding on
we-
in case we can get Eric to play it.
We'll.
It's like a 2 gig game too. So
Yeah,
it's-
I have
I
it
don't know.
downloaded. So if we do a game night one night soon, we can check it out.
Yeah.
maybe
I
we'll
don't know,
stream the
like,
fucking game and then
Yeah,
let
that's not a
everybody
bad
see.
idea.
Just to see what the hell it's about.
Sure.
I'm still bitter about our little community event the other night. Let's move on from Dune, but we had a
Oh,
little
Mario
community-
Kart. Yeah,
We had a
yeah.
little community event where we played some Mario Kart with.
It was fun.
Thank you,
everybody else in the Discord.
Jake and your wife, for joining us. That was really cool.
was
Having
really
a
fun.
listener hop in there and
Fuck yeah,
join us
it was fun.
until the
But
random person
I
came.
do
in.
want another challenge. I want another round because I was playing with tilt controls on and I didn't know it.
Dave was playing with tilt
I
controls
kept-
the whole
I
time.
couldn't figure out why
Oh,
my
that
car
was
kept
funny, dude.
drifting over, and I'm like,
You're talking a big
"Motherfucker,
game."
it's driving me nuts, and I just got my ass whooped.
That's
Over-
happened
it
to
was
me
a-
before. I
It
thought
was
something
such a humbling experience.
was wrong with
And
my
you're like,
controller.
I got a pro controller. Shouldn't be doing this.
Yep. And then I turned it. Yeah, I went to the pause menu. Tilt controller on. The fuck.
No,
What the
no.
fuck?
But I'm confused because like we had a random person join us, which is fine. Like, hey, you're watching. He's like, you want to play with us?
I
Like,
mean,
join us.
I had the
We did.
room code on the
And-
stream and everything. Yeah.
And then he does, but it's like he kind of trolled us. It was kind of rude. It was rude because like we're just genuinely playing the game as it was made, and he knew every
Right.
like
He was
No,
doing
he was
like
he was
glitches and
glitching
shit.
through
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
totally glitching, and he was beating us to the point where like none of us were able to finish the race, so we all were just time like, bro, like we're all having a good time.
Almost lapping us.
You're like, he was literally lapping. Yeah, and it was just like, dude, I understand you like saw us, you want to join us, but like, that's like LeBron James like watching us playing basketball. And he just starts dunking on me and my buddy. Like, bro,
I don't know
okay,
why that would
like,
be fun
is this fun for you.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be fun
like
for you. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, so that was just weird. I don't want to discourage people from joining. Like, please join us. Please have fun. But like, that was just weird.
I know. I was excited. Like, just some random person wanting to.
He was all nice about it. Oh, I'm glitching.
Yeah, right. He wasn't. No, he wasn't a jerk or anything. But
No,
we had to be like, all right, I think we just want to play with we want to actually have some friendly competition here. So
if I'm going to come in 6th place, can I at least come in 6th place and cross this finish line?
Right. Poor Brandon. Poor Brandon wasn't able to finish.
That really teaches me how to play the game, and I'm like, I want to play again though, and I want to get the N64 expansion shit for
You gotta
the Switch. I woke up in the morning. I'm like, yeah, that's a purchase I should.
GoldenEye is next.
We could do GoldenEye online. Yeah, let's do it.
Brandon. See how the shooters.
Master Chief Collection. If we're gonna play something, I'm just messing. I'll play it with you guys.
But yeah, that was fun. We did Mario Kart. We did Overcooked 2. We did some Overwatch. Did we do one other thing? Fall Guys.
Overcooked 2 is
Fall Guys.
All of that was so fun,
dude. There's a new game that came out. I know we're trying to wrap up, and we're like, but there's a game that came out, and it's not called Fall Guys. It's like Stumble Guys.
Stumble
and it's
Bros.
It's such a rip-off of the game. It's so obvious. So I played like it. I'm like, I lost the first one. I'm like, because I didn't know what to do in the one level.
Is it free
to? What do I do?
Free to play?
Free to play. It's in beta mode. So, but I won the next 2, and I'm like, oh my god,
Sure, you weren't with bots?
I don't know. No, they were with people, but it was. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so. But it was so similar. It's like not as good, but it was pretty good. Yeah. So if you haven't played Fall Guys or whatever, but you can totally but it's everything about it was just a rip off. But I think it has like maybe like some racing in there. It had some other game modes that are straight different than just running around. But when I played it, it did the same thing over and over again. So it's fun, but
I mean, both games are games are free to play. I feel like people would choose the better one.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right. What is? Yeah. Right.
The originator.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a lot of video games.
That was a lot. You're welcome. Enjoy the stuff.
Right? Yeah.
None of us watched anything, right? Except Dave. Dave watched.
I really want to watch.
I watch all sorts of shit this month.
I really want to watch Spider-Verse, the new Spider-Verse movie, but
I have it. I bought it like a month ago, and I have not watched it.
On
Netflix.
It's great.
I saw it. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good, guys. But I don't want to be the spoiler guy.
Don't spoil anything. No.
Yeah, don't spoil anything. What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but like,
just don't say anything.
What we thought. Okay, whatever.
Just shut up.
You'll have the same complaint that I did when.
Okay, that's fine.
It's a good movie, but. All
right, that's fine. There's something that happened that we might have an opinion on. That's fine.
I'll watch it.
I want to watch it fresh.
Not as good. I
didn't even watch the trailer. I don't even know what it's about.
Not as good as the first one. Okay, all right.
We'll
see about that.
There's my hot take. What is my hot take? There you go.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's.
Whoa! But Dave finally watched the Indiana Jones movie.
I did watch
the movie too.
I think it's good.
There's so much shit happened this month. I forgot about it.
And it came out on Disney Plus. If you just are like mad at Disney, if you're mad at reboots and all stuff, I still think you owe it to yourself as an Indiana Jones fan to fucking watch that last hurrah with Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones, and no, the female character in the movie is not gonna take his place and be the next Indiana Jones. If you made that thought from the trailer, no, what? No, she doesn't.
When Harrison's dead,
then you miss all the point of that movie.
The next iteration is gonna be like
they'll just use AI to fucking recreate him.
But no. I will say this: it is absolutely better than Crystal Skulls. It is definitely watchable. It is definitely an Indiana Jones movie, and it'll help wash the taste of Crystal Skulls out of your mouth, and you can just like a good pre-brush rinse. You got to get it in there. You got to wash that shit out, and then you can kind of enjoy it. But Brandon, you were correct, absolutely correct. They de-aged his face.
but not
in the
his
beginning
voice.
for a little bit, but they did not de-age his voice, and it sounds like cranky
80-year-old
cranky
dude.
Harrison Ford coming out of young
Right.
Harrison's mouth. It kind of threw me off a little bit there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this shit looked good. Like it was
It
cool.
looked really good for the most part. Yeah, I was really impressed.
So it's definitely if you're angry about Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls and you said fuck Indiana Jones, it's worth coming back to watch this to get some sort of like closure, some sort of, make yourself feel a little better. Like they end it nice. They end the series however they end it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but
You won't eye roll in this one, thank God. Even there's a kid in that, and the kid acting he's actually kind of he's up there with Short Round. Nobody will beat Short Round, but he's better than Dutch or whatever that kid's name was from the last one. Like no, he was annoying. Indiana Jones.
Shia LaBeouf.
LaBeouf.
Yeah.
LaBeouf.
Yeah.
LaBeouf.
Yeah. Butch or whatever his name was, but this kid, way more charming. He's fine. Yeah, I can't say anything. It's a solid 7.5 out of 10. 7 out 7.
Yeah.
I would
Agree.
But that's just because I like
there.
Indiana Jones.
So as someone who is I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I really enjoyed Temple of Doom when we watched it. Should I watch
Temple
this
of Doom is a
movie?
lot of fun.
No, you go Last Crusade next.
I mean, yes, of course. I gotta watch Last Crusade.
I think you could just as I think somebody who's not as big into the franchise.
No. And then we got Frozen.
Brandon's frozen. Brandon's frozen. It looks like he's sleeping.
He fell asleep. Let me finish this
Nighty
sentence
night.
for him. As somebody that's not as into the franchise, yes, you should continue with 3. If you want to put yourself through it, you can watch 4 and then watch 5.
At this point, I feel like I should just watch them all. I'm already halfway there, or sort of.
Yeah, absolutely. You owe it to yourself to see how the franchise ends. Like,
Yeah.
Take yourself through the natural progression of life from
Yes.
birth to death.
All right. Well, Brandon's dead, so I guess we'll end it here. I'll throw us into the outro here. If you want to follow us on Twitter or Instagram, you can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy. Oh, Brandon. No, he commented.
Just let him go.
All right, here,
I'll
I'll continue with the outro. At Nomads of Fantasy, Twitter and Instagram. nomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. If you want to join our Discord, Brandon's back, but I'm just gonna keep outroing us because he died. He's gone.
I'm dead.
Remember
me.
We'll see you next month for our catch up, and as always, safe travels, Nomads.
Bye for now.